This is Twit.
Microsoft announced two new Surface tablets today. The Surface Pro 2 has a Haswell processor, better battery life, 64 gigs of storage, and runs $899. There's also a 512 gigabyte version for $1,799. That one has 8 gigs of RAM, too. The Surface 2, not the Surface 2 Pro, but the Surface 2 is the successor to the Surface RT. It's thinner and lighter, better battery life, 32 gigabytes of storage, and will cost you $449. Meanwhile, the RT will remain on sale for $349. Microsoft also announced new accessories, including a new type cover, a new touch cover, and the brand new power cover, which contains a 30-watt-hour battery. All the new products go on pre-order tomorrow, September 24th at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and arrive October 22nd in 21 countries.
Apple sold a higher-than-expected 9 million iPhone 5S and iPhone 5C models in the first 3 days following the Friday launch of the 5S, and Apple shares rose 4.5% to $488.64 in early trading following the good news. Sales of the new models combined were nearly double those of the iPhone 5 in the first weekend after its launch a year ago. Wall Street analysts had expected Apple to sell about 6 million of the new iPhones.
The world's biggest retailer, Britain's Tesco, has introduced its own tablet. The Huddle, with no one vowel, H-U-D-L, is a 7-inch Android tablet with 16 gigabytes of storage that sells for £119. It's the equivalent of about $190 here in the U.S. The device will launch in Britain to begin with, but Tesco says it is considering rollouts in Europe and Asia.
Chaos Computer Club, a European hacker group, says they figured out a way to beat the Apple Touch ID fingerprint sensor using easy, everyday means. Now, according to a hacker by the handle Starbug, you'd need a 2400 DPI photograph of a person's fingerprint from a glass surface. Then that image would be laser printed at 1200 DPI. The final step is using latex or wood glue to create a sheet with the fingerprint that can fool the iPhone.
No, that's all. That's easy. On Friday, Apple introduced an update for Apple TV to give the set-top box new features like iTunes Radio. After reports that the update was bricking some Apple TVs, the company pulled the update on Saturday night. If you ended up with a bricked Apple TV, you can connect it to your PC by a micro USB cable and restore it using iTunes.
An official BlackBerry blog post has explained that the BBM app has been pulled from Apple and Google Play stores because it caused issues. The Android app has now been disabled, but customers who downloaded the BBM for iPhone app before it got pulled will still be able to use it. BlackBerry's Luke Reimer assures potential customers, as soon as we are able, we will begin a staggered country rollout of BBM for Android and continue the rollout of BBM for iPhone.
A class action lawsuit filed in the district court in San Jose, California against LinkedIn claims that that company accessed members' email accounts without authorization, accessed address books, and sent marketing information to contacts. LinkedIn lawyers say the claims are without merit and not true. LinkedIn does ask new users if they would like to share email contacts.
The New York Times reports that a Federal Aviation Administration panel will meet this week to relax restrictions on when electronics can be used on aircrafts. The Times says that certain activities like reading ebooks or listening to audio would be allowed, but phone calls and Wi-Fi use would still be restricted. The panel will recommend the new policies by the end of the month, and they could go into effect next year.
They keep teasing us with that. LG announced a new smartphone, the View 3, with a 5.2-inch 1280 by 960 screen, 4:3 aspect ratio, 2.26 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor, and a 13-megapixel camera. Android 4.2.2 phone goes on sale in Korea September 27th. They haven't announced a price yet.
Netflix won 3 Emmy Awards for House of Cards last night, becoming the first company to win the awards for online-only shows. Original shows produced by Netflix had received 14 nominations total, 9 of those for House of Cards alone. David Fincher won for Best Directing in a Drama Series for House of Cards, Chapter 1. The show also won 2 Creative Arts Emmys for Outstanding Casting and Outstanding Cinematography.
And right before the show started this morning at 10 a.m., Valve made the first of apparently 3 announcements on their website announcing Steam OS. We've been hearing possibilities of this. It's a free operating system built on Linux and meant for your TV. In fact, the URL says living room, so that's what they're talking about. They say it will be available soon and free forever.